Hi, Richard.
Good morning, Colin, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you excited about the Pirates yet with this contract?
Nope.
Well, I'm not excited about the Pirates. I am excited about finally paying somebody long term.
You know what? Let's talk about that.
Hmm.
As I was reading that this morning again, um, it's like a futures contract. It's like I don't know how we decide to pay somebody 18, 19 years old,
Okay.
140 million dollars. I don't know how you do that. And make it make sense. It looks good right now, but I mean, that's a really big bet that this young man's going to be what you think he is. I don't know. I think it's too soon to pay that kind of money.
It is, but there's also this. And he could have bet on himself and said no. And then he's better than that. And you got him at a bargain. And
I don't know if 140 million dollars is a bargain by any measure.
well, there's also the salary cap's maybe going to come into baseball in a couple years. So you get these contracts sort of grandfathered in. And I think that helps. Look, it's $140 million. It sounds like a lot because it is a lot, but it's a lot to talking about regular people outside of baseball. It's what the cost is in baseball.
All right, so what do you pay Paul Skeens?
Huh, more than that. He's a 200 and some $1 million guy,
When?
which means you can't sign Paul Skeens.
Right. But when?
You can't
But when is he a $200 million guy?
right
I mean, he
now.
can't. Yeah, but he can't leave for that. He can't leave
Right.
yet, right?
He's not going to, well, he could. I mean, he can't leave here.
Right.
He could sign with the Pirates for that
Yes.
because they control his
When
rights
is
for
he available on the
what,
open
like
market?
3 more years.
See, I think
Um,
that's ridiculous. He could blow his arm out in that time.
well, he could. He could also outperform whatever contract he signs now, just like Connor Griffin could do that. Connor Griffin could have undersold himself right now.
Mm. He
It,
could have. Yeah, he could have. But um,
he
I
also
mean,
could
that's
go
still a lot
out.
of money.
Oh, God forbid, he could go out and blow his knee out tomorrow and never be able to be the same, and that money's all guaranteed.
Yeah.
This is why the structure of baseball is absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, it is.
That
I agree with that. But I also wouldn't pay a 19-year-old $140 million guaranteed. I wouldn't do it.
right, which is why there are teams like the Yankees, teams like the Dodgers, the Rangers, high dollar teams that can withstand all of that because of how big their television market and revenue is. So they'll just pay, and if they swing and miss, they swing and miss.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it's just my personal opinion is no. Um, I just have a hard time with it. A hard time
I
with
well,
19 years old making 140 million.
I it is crazy that people can make that much money.
Sidney Crosby didn't get 140 million dollars.
No, you're right. And that's the way it is. The weird thing about hockey is a sport driven by the revenue with people at the games. Baseball's driven by their television revenue. It's a much different model. And because baseball plays 162 of them, hockey plays half.
Let me tell you, I was at the arena with the Penguins the other day, and I presented, and you
I
might have
saw
seen it.
that
Yeah, I presented the Defensive Player of the Year awards.
because you're so
Um,
defensive all the time. Yeah.
yeah, I just I'm never ever ever going to these guys are unbelievable.
Yes.
I absolutely, I love them individually. I love them collectively. I love the structure. I love the team. I'm just so impressed with these young guys. I mean, I just tell you, I am.
Do you know
And
what's
I,
interesting to me too about hockey
what?
players? There's so many of them that walk up to you and they look like high school basketball players.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my God.
you look at them and they're like long and lean, and you're like, wait, you're a hockey player? Yeah.
Listen, and we stayed. I was with Chelsea and Kristen, and we stayed after that just for 10, 15 minutes and watched practice. It's unbelievable, man. These guys are athletes. I mean, you go and you like from a distance, from a camera angle on television or whatever, and you see the puck going back and forth.
Yes.
But when you're right there and you see the precision that they pass with, the precision that they shoot with, the physicality, when they tap the ice and that, you don't even hear them tapping the ice when you're watching it on TV. They're calling for the puck. It's unbelievable, the
Well,
precision in
also,
that game.
and like I know where your seats are for the games.
Yeah,
People who watch on television think the ice is much bigger with that wide angle TV.
yeah,
It's a lot of big men in a small
yeah,
surface. It is condensed. And
yeah.
I'll tell you what, the physical brutality of that in a small space is incredible live in hockey if you sit close.
I don't know how they withstand it. I don't
No,
know how their bodies withstand it. Honestly, I don't. Um, I mean, because you see a football player get hit like that and he's out for the next 5 games, right?
well, yeah, and these guys, there's not a 10 seconds that go by where you don't come in contact with somebody in a small space really hard. It's an incredible, and the speed with which they crash into each other
It's
is
unbelievable.
insane.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. And then look at a guy like Chris Letang, who is, as you know, my very, very, I would call him very good friend. He's such a good guy. And just think, he's 38 years old. Think about how many hits he's taken. I mean, but I haven't heard of a Penguin or any hockey player. Well, sometimes I do hear other teams, but they don't sit out because they have a concussion. We don't hear concussion conversations very much.
No, not all that much. It's a crazy sport in game. It
So
just
let me ask you this:
yeah.
what do you think? Where do you think the best athletes reside, in what league?
Um overall,
Yeah,
see, they're all different. They're impossible to be measured
overall.
against
Yeah,
each other.
but that's okay. I asked you the question. You have to answer it.
In a way, the NBA guys are impressive unlike anybody else because they're 6'11". Like,
Yeah, but see, and I'll debate that. They wouldn't be. That doesn't make them better athletes. That makes them tall.
well, the things in which they can do in terms of being able to move nimbly and being able to kind of run up and down and whatever. Okay, if the average NBA player, and I'm not saying they're the best athletes, I'm just making this argument. I'm not throwing them out like so many people do. If the average NBA player walked in your office, he'd be the tallest person who ever walked in your office by far. You'd go, holy smokes. And a lot of times, that average NBA player doesn't play near the basket. Think about that.
Well, look at Adu.
Okay.
Adu's hero,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So he's been in my office. He comes to my office. Yeah, he's tall, but he can play,
Right.
right? But I'm telling you though, as if I'm rating the best athlete,
Uh-huh.
it has to be NHL. Has to be.
From a pure athletic standpoint, maybe. I
Could
don't
you
know.
imagine? Can you imagine 3 minutes on the line, full bore, back and forth?
There's
How long's that ice?
there's some people I don't discount because being athlete is a different terminology. There's some peripheral sports that people never mention in this
Well,
conversation.
soccer.
Swimming,
Oh, swimming. Yeah, yeah.
um,
Great comment.
marathoners,
Great comment.
triathletes,
Yeah,
wrestlers.
great comment. But a
They're
hockey player, 3 minutes, 4 minutes on a line, and
you're
I don't think I
smoked.
could survive. Yeah, I don't think I could survive
Not
that
even
personally.
3 minutes, a minute and a half. You're
Is it?
smoked.
Phew. And then they go
Um,
back out and do it again and again
so
and again.
people love to
I
have
love our
this.
Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm sorry. I love
People
them.
love to have this argument. Well, you can eliminate baseball. I mean, that's the one thing. Like those
I
guys
see
are
those
in
guys with stomachs hanging over their belt.
some of them, but I'll tell you what, the nutrition and the conditioning, whatever, it's really spiked in the last 20, 25 years. There are a lot of guys in really good shape to play baseball now.
Yeah, there
Um,
are. And Paul, listen, you know what I did when we did a commercial yesterday, and I called out Paul Skeens.
oh,
Yeah, I called him out. I said I can hit him.
wiffle
I
ball,
said
maybe.
I said I can hit him. I can hit him.
Uh,
I can hit him.
I don't know about that, but hockey's definitely up there.
You
I
just
think
dismissed me. You just
w-
dismissed me.
you can't hit Paul Skeens.
I
What?
can hit Paul Skeens.
Punch him.
No. No, I can hit Paul Skeens.
Throwing a baseball. Did you ever see the video of Crosby hitting home runs at batting practice at PNC Park?
Yes,
That's impressive.
he can do it. I can do it.
You
I'm
maybe in a
telling you, I
former
can do
life,
it.
not right now. Not right now. Not right now. No,
Oh,
not right now.
you
This
really give me no credit.
I'm giving you credit, but I don't know about right now. That was singularly. I know it's just batting practice, and I know he's a world class athlete. That's incredibly impressive to cross sports like that and do that, even if it's just batting practice.
I know.
And you know, if there was one guy that was going to do it, it was Sid.
So, believe it or not, this is crazy. In all my
Mhm.
years of sponsorships and everything I do and I'm involved in, I've never met Sydney
Oh wow. Well,
until 3 days ago.
oh
So um, when I went in to present the award,
yeah.
there was a group of 6 or 7 of them. They were standing there in their uniforms, in all their gear, and Sydney was one of them. And I went up to him and introduced myself. That was the first time. Of course, he knew who I was. Um, it was kind of a fun moment, and I told him probably something I've told you, and my daughter will shoot me for saying it, but I told him when I was introduced to him, I said, "Listen, young man, there was only one person in the world that I would have let my daughter marry, and it was you." I said,
What did he say to that?
oh, he laughed. He laughed. They're good. They're just such good guys. I mean,
100%.
man, they're good guys. I love the staff. I love, I mean, they're just good people. Every one of them, from Kyle all the way down.
You know why I like Crosby and Letang same way? Because they have that Palomalu quality in that and I've had to live this, but the amount of times they went to Children's Hospital and had no fanfare about it says a ton to me. They would
So,
they would use their Fridays a
yeah.
lot of times to go there and request, hey, no photos, no social media. This is just I want to brighten people's days.
So, yeah. That you're 100% accurate. We do the every year, with on the Bubba show, we do that. Yes, Pittsburgh, there is a Santa.
A Santa Claus.
Yeah, and so we do that. And do you know, every year, and Sid, if I'm outing you, I apologize. But he never asked for anything. He wanted no notoriety. He and he would bring in tons of gifts and just leave them at the show. But
Yep.
nobody ever knew it. He didn't want anybody to know it. He just did it.
At the front door and said, I'm going to be here at this time. Have somebody meet me. That's it.
Yeah. So you know about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't that something?
It's absolutely incredible. I can tell a story too. Danny Crawl is their um, clubhouse guy,
Yeah.
and in the locker room,
Yeah.
couldn't be a better guy. Our daughter got sick, and people were trying to do this, that. We didn't accept any money. We're fine. We have insurance, whatever, and we're gritting through a pretty tough time. And Danny Crawl said, "Hey, I have your address, right?" And he just texted me. I said, "Yes." I didn't know what he was texting about. Um, so 2 days later, and this was only 4 days after she got diagnosed with cancer, uh, stick came, and the return address was Sid's home address. He didn't send it from the down at the thing. It was from the Swickley post office, I guess. He sent a stick signed with a big handwritten note.
Wow.
And I'm just looking at this going, wow, I really don't even know
Wow.
the guy that much.
Wow.
And that said something, you
Wow.
know. But it was
Wow.
fantastic. He does that kind of stuff is legendary from him, and he wants nobody to speak about it. So Latang's the same way.
The Tang is the same way. It's every part of that organization is just class. And I love it. And Sydney bought in, and that is who he is. When you get involved in things like that, and you went through it with your daughter, you go visit Children's Hospital, and you see it really is all about perspective, man. It just you really understand. And I have that saying that says, "This is who we are, and this is what we do." Um, and then if you have the ability, of course, you have the responsibility. But if you go there, if you go to Children's Hospital, it's just an unbelievable. It's there's no words. There's no
No,
words
it's
to
humbling.
describe it.
Certainly is.
It really is.
Um,
And thank God.
anyway,
So let's ask about your daughter.
yeah, real quick.
How is she?
She's great. Ninth grade. Same with my son.
Oh, that's
They're
great.
twins. They love it. Here's something that's funny to change up the mood a little bit. They like, especially my son, they love school. Now, I didn't dislike school, but like they wake up wanting to run to school every day.
Isn't that
That's,
cool? That's
I
cool.
guess, that's interesting to me. Like we went to school to try to get to summer.
Yeah.
We treated it like when's the weekend coming.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They do a lot of innovative stuff at schools now where they keep kids interested. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
We
that's
just,
it's really cool.
I guess, anyhow.
Okay, so now back to hockey. Let me say this.
Yeah,
I really think this could be the team.
yeah. They better get goaltending in the playoffs. That's always the
Um,
story.
who's their goaltender next year? That's the one that they need to come alive right now.
Yeah,
Marishkov.
yes. They need him to play well. They
Yeah.
also need to figure out what they're doing with Malkin long term.
Well, forget long term. Right now, he's playing his ass off.
He is, certainly.
And I think I'm looking at right now only, and I know we don't want to jinx it, but I mean these guys are fast. They're in your face. They're the team that I always hoped we would have, right?
Oh,
Fast
yeah.
in your face. I
And
mean, and you got that 6'8" guy who's a beast.
and you got to figure out that there's probably not many more of these shots left.
Probably not, and especially to get to the point they've already gotten to right now.
Right.
Um, and they're playing it's just lights out right now, and I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
Kindle. I love every part of this current team is and has an element that I really love.
Maybe the coach wasn't a terrible hire.
Who thought he was?
Well, there was questions about how good he could be. You
Well,
know,
but he also had a reputation of being able to develop young talent.
but he also had tough shoes to fill coming in after somebody said, well, could he have hung on? Is it really time to move on? Is it stale? What can you do to rejuvenate this? I think he's done a great job.
Well, I think he's done a great job, and frankly, making the decision to move on is one of the hardest decisions, because I mean, I can even tell you here, you have people who've been with you a long time. It's just like it's if you look at my hand, so you're here, you want to go here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, then, but when you get to here halfway, that may not be the same person that takes you from here to here,
Right.
and that's hard to recognize sometimes. Right, and
Oh,
it takes it takes a
that-
lot of thought and courage to make that change.
oh, you're right. All
But they
right.
made it. But they made it, and I love it. And I think, same thing. Mike Tomlin. Mike is great. I love Mike. Never never would badmouth Mike. But
No,
I
but
really believe this is the best move ever for him personally. He
right.
will have a life. He will have the money, and he's so perfect for that position on TV.
We'll see if he takes it.
He'll take it.
50-50 at best.
He'll take it. I bet you $1.
You're on.
Okay.
$1.
$1.
$1. Next
Okay.
week we'll be talking about the draft. We'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers is here this next week.
So here's something.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine called me 2 days ago
Okay.
and she said, I just saw Aaron Rodgers. Really? Yes, in North Park.
That could very well be.
Ah, why would he be here if he weren't going to sign?
No, that could very well be.
I think it portends a signing in the
Oh,
future.
all right. Well, that's your call. That's your prediction for next week.
based purely on somebody seeing him.
All right.
Okay.
Do you think he'll be signed when we talk next week?
Yes.
I actually say yes too.
Okay. But you thought about it because you always want to fight.
No. I'm now that I mean you have a credible sighting. I say Tuesday of next week he signs.
Oh, okay. And the draft is the following Thursday,
It is.
not the following week from
Yeah.
nine
Like
days,
23rd or
later.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I
let's see
I
what
say
happens.
we will see what happens. Tuesday of next week he signs.
Okay.
Deal. You're on.
Done.
I'll talk to you.
Do we have anybody watching?